morning. Today I'm starting out my day by brining my meat. Brining my meat. This is how I get the most out of my meat purchases. $18.11 worth of meat. Formerly this would have been about $3.25 of meat. At any rate, I'm just going to rip open this package. I'm going to wash each piece, because you never know who's been handling it and what they've been doing with those hands before they handled your meat. Into a glass bowl. Alrighty. Wash my hands again. Now that they're all greasy. I did wash them before I started handling the meat. Kind of defeat the purpose if I think I'm washing off other people's germs, but I'm not taking care of my own first. It's another strange, cloudy, hazy day here on the coast because of the wildfires happening. I'm staying inside today. I'm not going to go out. This is kosher salt. I'm not sure why I use kosher salt. I associate the process of brining with Middle Eastern countries. Maybe that's why I use kosher salt. I don't know. Into that bowl, I'm putting about 1/8 of a cup of salt for that package that you saw. It's about a little over 3.5 pounds. And then just barely warm water. Lukewarm water. What an interesting expression. Lukewarm water. Where did that come from? Is it from the Bible? The part about, how does it go? You have to be either hot or cold, or I will spit you out. Don't be lukewarm, or I will spit you out, saith the Lord. Something. All right, mixing the salt and the water and the meat in the bowl here. So brining the meat does several things. It helps draw out any toxins and impurities, or most of them anyway, that might be left in the meat. Blood sucks out the blood that's left in the meat. And it adds enough of a salty taste to the meat, just a hint that you might not need as much extra salt in your recipe. So I'm going to leave this sit here to do its magic, and back to the lounge. I haven't finished my morning chai yet. Talking trash again. Remember that little trick I mentioned about how I deal with my trash? Okay. This jar is trash. And specifically, I put smelly trash in here, which would be the wrapper from the meat. And those little absorbent pads with the meat juice in it. That goes in the jar. The lid goes on the jar. Viola, no smells. So it's been about 20 minutes or so, and I'm going to rinse the pork chops off really good and put them in a pan. The pieces are slippery, which leads me to believe that yes, it helps draw the impurities out. All right. Yeah, my reaction to the impurities in our food today is wash it well and cook it well. So now it's in a pan, and I'm not adding anything to it. I'm just going to put this on the stove on a kind of a low heat, and it will make its own juice after a while. I'll keep coming back and changing the positions of the little chops. Actually, they're big chops. This $18 worth of meat is probably going to last me 12 meals at least, because of the way I extend my meat, for two reasons. One, because it's too expensive, I can't afford to eat a lot of meat, but also because it's healthier, so that works out just fine. Alrighty then, I'm gonna turn these chops. It smells really good in here right now. I love to just wolf down a chop when it's cooked, but no, I must have self-control or my food budget won't last the month. There's already about at least a half an inch of juice on the bottom of the pan. All right, the pork chops were simmering, I'd call it a hard simmer or a low boil, for about an hour, and they have cooled down. So now I parcel them into containers, one chop per container, and this will go into sauces and gravies. And they do smell good, oh yeah. And I'll disperse the juice as best I can. All right. And this is one of my favorite ways to use the meat, and usually onions and meat, and I make a gravy with this. This comes in little bars and you can split it up. So I'll make 2 gravies out of it. I'll get 6 meals out of this one package. And I have to leave the lid open just a tad because when it freezes it'll push it up. I'll come back after it's frozen and press the lids shut. No, stack them up too. I am going to use up all of that pork before I even open these other 2 packages. One is pork, one is chicken. So I can use this all up over the next few weeks for $18 worth of pork.